Oh, proper winter here now. Look at this. Frozen water trough. I'm dealing with that. Tractors wouldn't start this morning. Got them going in the end. Do you know what? -9. How about that? It's mad. Do you know what though? Don't need a thermometer. I've got a turdometer. Look, this is how you can tell how frozen it is. Fresh cow poo. Look at that, rock solid. Rock solid. My turdometer tells me it's proper cold. Oh, when your cow poos freeze, you know it's blooming cold. You gotta laugh, haven't you? Right, so those oil protesters, you know, what is it? Just Stop Oil. I don't suppose they're gluing their hands to the motorway today, are they? But all those motorists that were held up by them, wouldn't it be funny now if you went round their house and just said, oh, I'm just going to turn your heating off. Just Stop Oil. I'm just stopping your central heating because we don't want to burn any fossil fuels now, do we? Not when you got frozen turds. Better to sit in the cold, isn't it? I bet they're not flipping sitting in the cold. Anyway, flipping heck. It's a hard graft in this weather. I can tell you this now. It's a slog. I just want to get back to some decent weather, really. It's nice. You can work in it. You can work in this. And I'll show you after going for breakfast now. I'll show you what I'm doing on the farm at the moment, anyway. But better than rain. But Jesus, I'd rather have it warmer. Oh, right. Well, I'm going from the modern world behind me to the 17th century now. Part of a project I've got on. I've always got a project, you know me. As soon as we finish that project there, look. Project Shed. That was a really good project. I'm on another project now, a bit of restoration. So, we're going to go, I'm walking, look at this snow. I don't know, I'm fed up with this cold weather now. I've had enough of it. I've got a blooming cold. Bit of a cough. Not COVID, it's just grotty man flu cold. I could just do it warming up. At least not raining though, eh? Right, let me get round. I can see my wall coming up. 17th century wall. 17th century, baby. I wanna be your man. Right. I've got my crowbar with me as well. I'll show you what that's for a minute. Let me spin you around and we'll see a bit of devastation. Oh dear. There's the farmhouse, look, looking beautiful. And there is what's left of part of the wall. Shh. Oh dear. Right, let me explain. So, very fortunate to live in this lovely farmhouse here, built in 1600. Been in the family 200 years, so it's our family's 200th year in this house. Not a little one on the end, which my dad built when he got married in 1966, but the main farmhouse. 200 years our family lived in that house, and I'm the next caretaker of it, custodian if you like. I don't ever feel like I'm owning, I'm just looking after it for the next generation. And it's a place like this, you got two options really. You're either someone who's flipping minted and has gone out and bought it, and you usually got the money to look after it then, haven't you? Or you're like me who is part of a farming generation that has got the house with the job, if you like. Doesn't necessarily have loads of money, but thankfully good with their hands. And that is just the job on this, because the thing about that farmhouse and this, around the farm, you need a lot of work to do to keep the place going. And if you've got to pay someone to come and fix stuff, it costs you a fortune. So this is a classic example, look, right. So I'm sure this wall here is the same age as the farmhouse. So we've got a 400-year-old wall here, sort of built with really nice stone actually. It's all nice. If you're a builder, you'd appreciate this. It's nice face stone, good size, look. Good square pieces here. Nice lumps there, look. but look at the lean on that. Can you see that? So for 400 years that wall stayed upright until about 3 years ago. I think my mum was still living in a farmhouse then, and I came down one morning, looked out in the garden, and the flipping wall had gone. So basically it'd been leaning over the years and had fallen over. Now it's kind of one of those jobs where you think, oh god, what am I going to do? Well, we had a section of wall like this knocked over by a milk tanker back in the probably early part of the 20th century, and I remember at the time it was an insurance job and it cost 13 grand to put it right. Now whether that was because it was an insurance job, it was that high, I don't know. I also remember when the person came out from the insurance company, they were the first person I'd seen with a laptop, or one of the first people I've seen with a laptop. I was quite impressed. They turned up with a laptop. It was 25 years ago, say. Anyway, so when this wall fell down here, I was thinking, Christ, we're going to cost a fortune to fix that. What we're going to do? So I've left it, but now I've decided, now I've got a bit of time, I'm going to have a go myself. Now you might think, oh flipping heck, farmer on the job, bodge job. Well, I intend to take a lot of care and pride over doing this job. I have done walling before. What you see on my videos isn't all of what I am. You see a section of my life, you don't see everything. And I'm quite happy confident to tackle this slowly but surely. I'm not sure whether I'm going to video all of me doing this, because the thing is, I know what will happen. Some people are criticised, they always do, they can't help themselves, and it just gets a bit wearing. But my job at the moment is a rescue mission, because you see what's happened. Look at the lean on that. What's happened? The wall has been leaning for a while. I didn't even notice it was that bad, and then eventually it's gone like that. So what you've got is a sandwich. You've got the side stones, the facing stones there. You've got this rubble in the middle, which they use for packing. Look, that's no good. That's packing stone. And then you've got the facing stone again out that way, the building stone. So what I'm doing is I'm gradually going through that, working my way along. I've already started. Look, and I'm sorting it. That is the packing in the middle. That's going to be safe for reuse. This is the builders. Look. If you like stone, which I appreciate, look at that. That's a lovely cut stone there. Someone's made the effort on that. I haven't come out of the ground like that. You know, because they've done it. Look, there's another one. Nice flat one there. Look. Nice stone that is. Beautiful. Another one there. Look. So I'm basically sorting. Look, that whopper there. Sorting it, and also the toppers, separating the toppers out. Look, these are the toppers. They packed them in. My dad's been round and repaired some of this a while ago. This is modern cement, it's not ideal. I'm going to be using lime mortar. I'm going to be sourcing that delivered in, I think already mixed. The question I've got is how far I go taking this down. Now this has got a lean on it. How far do I go? I mean, it's probably alright about there. That's quite a lean, isn't it? Oh, do I really want to go all the way back there? Crikey. So it is a big job. So my plan is, right, through the winter, I'm just chipping away at this and just moving the stones out, sorting them. Oh, I've got a runny nose. Sorting these stones, ready for the spring. I'm not touching this till probably about April time at the earliest. Let's have a look. We'll go a bit further along here. I've got a horrible red nose with my gritty cold. Look, we've got a big stone pile here. My dad was brilliant. My dad loved walling, so he kept a stone pile, and this is all what he's kept for reuse elsewhere. And these walls, this wall here, look, is slightly lower along here, and it's been patched up before. I think some of these walls have fallen with time, and that's got concrete toppers. This bit along here, I rebuilt this bit with these toppers. Did that section there about 10 years ago because this had all fallen down. That's concrete. You see, the modern way of doing it was to have the toppers just evenly spaced like teeth. But if you look at the old part of the wall, further where I'm working, they're really close together. Now, I think my dad, what he did as he rebuilt the wall, rather than putting the stones back on, sort of like they were, he's put them on spaced out, because there was a lot of weight on top of the wall with the original way they did it. So he's tried reducing the weight, so that's why he did that along there. But you can see they're really close together there, aren't they? You know, more private. You can climb over that wall, you can't climb over that very easily. This is quite clever, really. You're going to stop someone jumping up there, aren't you? If you think the security wise on an old farm in 1600, no flipping police to call or anything, was there? That's why there are bars on the window. But you got to admire the guys who built this stuff. I mean, I just hats off to the guy who built this wall 400 years ago. Flipping out the skill involved with this. He couldn't pick up the mobile phone and go, right, is that juicing? I want a couple of bags of cement, yeah, some breeze blocks, yeah, what else do I want? Oh, trowel, bring me a trowel, a spade, cement mixer, yeah, can you just deliver all that Wednesday? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, here's a credit card. It wasn't like that. Every single bit of tool you had to probably get from the local blacksmith. All the materials would have been locally sourced, but they would have at the most come in on horse and cart. You know, and if you wanted to get them, you had to go up the road and see the bloke and then come and get them brought in. It was blooming hard graft. And when he went home at night, he wasn't going home to a house with central heating, was he? And a telly to watch. He's going home to blooming candlelight and lucky to have a good cooked meal and then go to bed at blooming 8 o'clock, I expect. Right. Anyway, I'm just going to pick through this. I'll show you what I'm picking out. I'm going to do this. I'm only doing it a bit at a time because it's not the nicest of jobs to do this. I'll enjoy the walling more than the sorting. But I'm off to my scan this afternoon, get my heart scan. So we might reconvene at that in a bit. And let's have a quick look here then. Right, let me get me. I got my crowbar. Look, it's a bit like archaeology. This. You gotta poke through it. There's a big whopper stone there. I'm leaving that there for the moment. See, it has fallen face down, and look at that. These are the facing stones. Let's just break that up. Held together with lime mortar. Right. Let's just get these. These are the filler stones. You don't need to worry about them. But it saves you mortar if you put those in, and you don't want huge dollops of mortar in the middle. Right, that one should have a flat face, or a reasonable flat face. Isn't too bad, is it? See? And then you got a bit more filler. Look, you see, mortar comes off really easy because it's only lime. Probably reuse it if you grind it up. Amazing stuff though, 400-year-old still there. Right. Look at that, Mr. Robbins just turned up. Aren't you lovely? Oh, gone to the chicken house. That's something I've noticed from working in fields actually. If you're out and about and you're working like hedge laying or something, you quite often a robin will turn up. They like sort of hanging out with people. It's weird. Lovely little birds. Oh, stop for a little breather. Oh, do you know what? It was really annoying. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna blow my nose again. Doing Smurf hats. My wife's hat, she gave it to me because she doesn't like it because it looks like a flipping Smurf. It does, doesn't it? Anyway, what I'm finding is, oh, crikey, that might be the lesser spotted postman. coming up our drive, bringing the post. Not very easy to spot a postman these days, is it? Was it a whole country's on strike? Flipping heck. No farmers on strike though, are they? We managed to do all the lockdown, carried on working, and I see people are getting 7%, 8% pay rises. Christ, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Dream on. Anyway, hey ho. What am I saying? Yeah. Dream on in farming, that is. Don't get. What's the pay rise? Anyway, the biggest problem I got is blessing my dad, when he repaired this wall 30, 40 years ago, what he did, as I said before, he cemented the toppers on because the main wall was solid. But now what I'm finding, right, I've got big lumps of masonry which I'm going to have to deal with. Look, can you see that? One lump there. I think that's another one there. Another one up there. And another one up there. And the lime mortar don't taste like what it oughta. The water in Majorca don't taste like what it oughta. If you're old enough, you'll remember what advert that's from. The water in Majorca don't taste like what it oughta. Heineken refreshes the beers that other beers cannot reach. Anyway, totally lost where I'm going with this now. What was I on about? Don't get me eye taken out by this stick. I don't know. Yeah, the lime mortar, it comes off the stones beautiful. You wouldn't think. So 400 years worth of masonry, and I can. Let me give you an example of this, right? 400-year-old bit of masonry behind me. 400 years. Not sure what that yellow stuff is. Looks like a bird's eating some. Oh, that's interesting. I think that is mistletoe berries. And that's. I don't mind putting my hand in poo. Look, it's mistletoe berries. The birds have been. This is how mistletoe spread. Look, they've been eating the mistletoe. Look, you can see the seeds in them. Look at that. And that's how they spread. Anyway, 400-year-old piece of masonry. Look, I bet I could lift this stone off. There you go. Right. And look how clean that's come off. Separated from the lime. Now that is completely reusable. You can see why I'm doing it. Look, totally reusable. Totally clean bit of stone. That's a nice. If you're a builder, you're looking at that going, "That's a nice stone. I can lay that flat. Get a bit of cement on there. Go on the pile. Look, lovely." And Bob's your uncle. Look. And all you need to do is chip that. Look how the ivy's got in it. That's probably part of its demise. The ivy's got inside. Although some of that's grown since the wall fell down. But look, so the lime mortar, it just crumbles. Look. So anyway, but we got these concrete slabs. Look at them. Look at that. That's bloody solid. I don't even with the break with a. That's really annoying. Another bit there. Look, and there. So I'm going to clear all that, and then I'm stuck with the flipping toppers that should go up there. I don't know. Hey ho, I might have to abandon those. I've got plenty of stone in the stone pile. I might have to just get out what I can of those and just leave them for now. Well, I'm glad to be clearing that. I've done only 3 days on this. He says only 3 days. Only do an hour or so, and then that's enough. And then I bugger off because it's too cold. I'm going to do a little bit more, and then I'm going to bugger off. Get into Bristol. Get this thing checked out. MRI scan. What could possibly go wrong there? Look, Mr. Robin's back. I think, look, you see that? I think he's looking for grubs. Oh, bless him. Happy Christmas, Mr. Robin. Wherever you come from, wherever you go, you're always a joy to see. Oh, I think that's enough for one day. I've cleared a bit more. Just a little bit at a time. I'm just chipping away at it. I'm not touching this section until I've cleared all this site, because that's another job in itself. I'm going to have to take it back, like I said, I think to about there. I'm not going to go down right to the ground. Hopefully those footings there will be okay, because the foundations haven't gone. It's literally, the mortar's just, you know, for 400 years and still pretty good around the rest of it though, isn't it? So it's got to lean on till about there, so it's gonna have to go. And then, so I'm clearing about halfway now. I've probably got about halfway. I reckon the other lot of stone, I'm gonna start and clear it out and put it in a pile out here, because otherwise I'll block all my entrance there. I'll get some lime mortar delivered in, ready mixed, I think. That can go round there, the tree frame. Don't need that anymore. Oh, Mr. Robin, you back again? You are a beauty little man, aren't you? Hey, don't be shy. Say hello to your Funky Farmer fans. Right, oh look, see? It doesn't take long. If you just leave it, the grass and everything grows up around it, the brambles start growing over it. You know, if I cleared it when it first came down, which is what I should have done, it would have been a lot easier. But then time is an enemy. Right, let's go and have a look at some mistletoe a minute, where that bit of mistletoe came from. See what we got for us for the farmhouse later. Get a kiss off Mrs. C, hopefully. I'll have a quick look, then I got to get off. We've got to get a quick shower, get off the cow muck and then get into Bristol. Just going past this one of John's swarm boxes up there. Won't be any, he's taped it up now, look. That's ready for next year. Go on down here. Oh, look at that lovely bunch of mistletoe. Look at that. I'm not going to pick it now. Next week, I think. Let's see John's bees. The mistletoe's come on this apple tree as well. Look, this apple tree is only 20 years old. I planted it with my dad. And it's got mistletoe on it. You know, the bees are all tucked up now. That's it for them. Pond's frozen up. Let's go. There's a bit more mistletoe there. I got plenty of mistletoe then. I was a bit worried because the main mistletoe tree blew down, and I thought I'd lost all my mistletoe, but there's quite a bit on the other trees. I lost 2 good trees. Here's the other apple tree that blew down. One I've sawn up. This one still alive partly. Got a bit of mistletoe on it. Look here. That one blew down. Remember we replanted it with some friends last year. Early in the year, not last year. That's still alive, this tree. Look, it's only got a little bit of root left on it, but it's still alive. Still got leaves on it now, look. See? And still got a bit of mistletoe. But, I mean, amazing, isn't it? Majority of the root's gone. Right. Let's get into Bristol. Crack on. Boom. I'm in Bristol. Well, I made it in, flipping it. Took me an hour to get in here. So I'm off the farm into Bristol for my scan. I thought I'd do a little, do you know what? I thought I'd just do a little bit, if I'm in the MRI scanner, I thought I'd get a little video of that actually, because it'd be a bit unusual, wouldn't it? I thought, you know, let's end this video with something looking at that. If I'm allowed to film in there. So, you know, I thought also just give you an update on the heart situation. So, you know, I had the scary thing in end of July. I went into Southmead Hospital, Bristol, with heart failure caused by a virus, caused by COVID. Anyway, I've been on medication for that since, and feeling absolutely pretty ding-dang-do, really. But what they want to do is just check my heart now with the scan, and that will basically tell them the functionality of it and how it's doing. So I'm hoping that it is a lot better. I mean, I believe that heart can repair itself. And I mean, do you know what? I have to confess, when I came out of Southmead, I was scared. I felt okay, but I was a scared guy, really. I came back off to the farm and I didn't really know what I could do, and I didn't. Someone tells you got heart failure, you sort of think, oh God Almighty, is this the end of my farming life? Am I going to this bloke? You know, what can I do? Can I run? Can I do anything? Can I get on a bike? Blah blah blah. Anyway, as I've grown in confidence, I realise what I can do, and I've just got to take it steady, really. Ish. And I feel ding dang do, so, you know, that's not a bad thing, is it, really? So this is really just to tell them what the state of my heart is now, and realistically how we carry on from there. I'm hoping I've made a good recovery. I think it was 38% functionality on one side, which wasn't great, but I've had some lovely support from people. Well done to all of you on Facebook who contacted me and said, you know, keep it up, you know, you do all right, and well done. And the people who've been through experiences like this and, you know, come out the other side. But I also realise that compared with what some people are going through, my thing is completely trivial. It's just, you know, I had heart failure, I wasn't that bad, I'm still okay, I'm still here, you know. There's a lot of other things it could have been, so it's a blessing in that extent. Anyway, I'm in the lovely city of Bristol. I don't spend as much time in here as I used to. When I was a teenager, I used to spend a lot of time, or in my 20s. A friend lived in Clifton, used to spend a lot of time going out and about in Clifton and around the centre. Don't really do that now. I've become this old man who actually likes the countryside and the country pub and the quiet life. And I thought that when I was driving in, I thought, do you know what? I actually prefer living in the countryside now. The quietness of it all compared with here. Although, you know, there's a lot to do and see here, and it is a great city, but behind me is what was Colston Tower and the Colston Hall until they chucked the statue into the docks, and it became not allowed to be called Colston Hall anymore. You can look that up on the internet. Let's not go there. Bit of a shame. I always remember it as Colston Hall, but hey ho. That used to be an office block. Radisson Tower now is a hotel, I think. Looks quite funky, doesn't it? Look, I wouldn't mind staying for a night in there. Look, top floor would be good views. This is the back of the centre. The centre of Bristol's behind there with the hippodrome and everything. So we're looking at the back of it. That pub there, I saw. So this used to be the ice rink here. And one of the last times I came here, they were knocking it down. But it's got a club below it. And I saw Amy Winehouse play live in there. And I went into that pub beforehand, and she'd signed a load of the menus behind the bar, and they were behind the bar. This was before she hit the big time, and I went to see her. She was amazing. And I'm not saying that. We came out there and thought, wow, she's amazing. And then I think it's Back in Black or whatever the album was, came out a few months later, and it was like, whoa, that's the person we saw. And she went superstar. She was generally really good, so that's my claim to fame. I did see Amy Winehouse just there. I've still got the ticket. Right, I'm off to the BRI. I am actually early, about an hour early, but it was kind of like, how long do you want to spend in the car, kind of being scared about being late? Right, let's get out of here. Yeah, it's all being refurbished here. The old, it's the Beacon now, not the Colston Hall. Yeah, and this is being refurbished now. Look, there's a lot of work going on around here. Let's get on up. So it's a nice building actually. Gives some good concerts in there. Oh no, the joke shop's shut. It's gone. It's blooming cold. Oh, right. Down there is the BRI. So down there, can you see there? That's the BRI where I ended up in casualty in May with the first bout of my heart thing. Next to it with the lollipop things, that's actually a children's hospital, and I have been in there to talk to kids about farming actually a few years back. Right, but we're heading off up there. I think my heart bit is round the back, so I go around the tradesman's entrance. My sister used to be a nurse, and there were student flats round the back there. She used to have one. Well, I think they've knocked it all down now and built a hospital on top of it. That's going back 30 odd years ago. Times change. Right, cracking on slowly. Behind me, that used to be the student sort of pub. It's all boarded up now. I'm looking around here, and you just see the change that you took for granted as being there permanent, and then suddenly it's not. And I'm just seeing this now. Look up here. Wow. That building certainly wasn't there. That's an extension to the BRI. Let's have a close look when we get round the back. crikey, here we are, very different. Right, spin it around then. So, here I am, Bristol Heart Institute there. But this was where my sister's accommodation was when she was a student. And it was all brick built 1930s blocks there, there and there. In fact, I had a Mark I Fiesta and it got his stereo stolen in that car park in the days when people used to nick stereos. And now, look, I'm going to go down to the Heart Institution. Right, we're back in a sec. MRI reception. Hey, and I'm free. So, it's very quiet here. There's no one about really. It's the end of the shift, I guess. So, I've done it. I've had my scan, and kind of weird, really. If you don't know what a magnetic resonance scanner is, this is a picture of what it's like. Okay, so what you do, you slide in, and then basically you're led on your back and they put headphones on you. I thought it'd be for music, but actually what it was doing, it was doing a load of instructions. So what they would say is, breathe in, breathe out, hold your breath, and then there'd be beeping, really loud beeping for like 9 seconds or something like that, and then breathe. But it was like really quick, breathe in, breathe out. I was like, and I said to the bloke before I went in, I said, don't worry, I'll probably fall asleep. He goes, oh, you won't, because we're going to give you instructions. And do you know what? I did actually start nodding off, and it was only when it said to me, hold your breath. I woke up and I thought, oh Christ, I've missed a bit. Anyway, so anyway, it was all, it was all good really. And so I'm just waiting for the results of the consultant now. So the one thing I did think is, God, how do people work in these places? In there, there's no windows. You're in there all the time. I couldn't hack it. I'm glad to be back on the farm, and I'm going back now. All right, crack on, everyone. Interesting day. My life's a bit more varied than these people, I think. Well, you've got to do the job you like, haven't you?